I do want to cover addiction real quick. Um, Something I've been struggling with as of late. About a month clean, give or take. Um, I never smoked weed until I left the Air Force for obvious reasons. I mean, yeah, and so at first experience, at first glance, it was amazing. It was like my favorite discovery of my 30s, um, of my adulthood, to be honest with you. And at my current place, I look back on it and I realized how much life I had been wasting. My own life, just the amount of waste and the amount of time and the amount of money that was invested into an addiction. Um, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But for my current sober place, um, I still have a value for it. I still kind of miss it. The ability to think and imagine and kind of visualize and kind of disassociate from reality. It's one of the features of marijuana. Well, of course, I was smoking the cousin of marijuana, hemp, which is legal in certain states, what have you. Andrew says weed kills your actualization. I'm inclined to agree. Inclined to agree. Um, I would argue most people are addicted to something. Most people are addicted to something, from sugar to caffeine to the Pendjamins that most people carry in the purses and what have you. Um, I think we're all trying to escape on some level. We're all trying to escape on some level, and it's unfortunate that we get caught up. You saw I think on TikTok there was a huge thing about feel free. They were selling it in gas stations, over the counter, gas stations, man. And apparently it was on the equivalent addiction level of like opiates. People are going to rehab trying to get off the stuff, which is crazy because how do you sell that at a gas station? A small little blue bottle, and you see people just addicted. I'm like, how is this possible? But yeah, addiction, um, it's a trap. It's a trap. And of course, most people would assume the opposite of addiction is just, I don't take anything, I don't do anything. Um, that doesn't like come through food or supplements, which is a very light term. And I'm not sure exactly that we have brain receptors, but we're not supposed to use them. Um, Kind of like Tylenol. Like, are we quitting those drugs too? Are prescriptions bad? A lot of people on Ozempic. You see, I don't know if it's Venus or Serena. One of those, one of the twin sisters, is now like the spokesperson for Ozempic. Just the cutting of corners is becoming more and more accessible and more easy. More and more easy. Um, you see like the prevalence of sports betting. With the NFL season upon us. A lot of people already down. Season ain't even started yet. We losing money on preseason. Parlays, and I'm like, all right, we got five. I cooked up 5 legs. You understand? You know, People trying to predict the playoffs. The AFC and NFC winners. You would notice that there are more and more traps being set all around us. More and more traps, and I I was victim to them as well. Not so much gambling. Gambling is probably the most destructive addiction that you could possibly have. Um, because it affects you, it affects people that loan you money, your friends that you're lying to, your family that you're lying to. You know, One thing you would notice with gamblers is that they always have an excess of hope and cash flow, which has been instructive to me in that I don't think money is the issue. Like if you need money, money's everywhere. But it's the belief system behind it because you will never see like as broke as gamblers are, they seem to always have money. They The gambling never stops. I'm like, how are you gambling with no money? And like they somehow find things to pawn around their house, um, borrowing money from strangers, borrowing money from friends and family. They always have cash. They always have cash. I'm like, if you can be in debt with gambling, imagine if you use that same amount of funds to buy assets. I mean, it's unfortunate.